Hi everybody, welcome to Live with Prima. This is Cari Fennell here, and today we're going to be working on a watercolor panel. It's just kind of a fun little project to work on. I tried to keep it really kind of um, easy to recreate, but I added some interest with the watercolors. But I could also see this project as a universal project. Like this could be an inspiration for a card or the cover of a mini album or anything your heart desires, really. I think that it's to scale for something smaller like that. Today I'm using a watercolor panel that is 5 by 7 inches. Now the camera's going to go a little wacky because it doesn't like white. And so you can get a peek at what it looked like before. And I've gone ahead and stenciled the top of it for you. Um, if by chance you are not sure how to add the stenciling and stuff, I did a video not too long ago with another canvas where I added it, and I used light paste. It's an opaque matte paste. The light paste is a little different than the regular modeling paste. It's lighter and fluffier. In comparison to the two, I like to tell everybody that modeling paste is like frosting, and light paste is like marshmallow or fluff. That seems to be the consistency and the difference between the two. Someone else also mentioned that the light paste is kind of spongier. It is a little bit, but it dries nice and firm. It's just lighter weight, and I think that it works well on, it can take the art mediums just as well. So it all depends on what you're aiming for. And the stencil that I used on this one, the original stencil I used for this one is called Spark. It's a 6x6 stencil, and it has just that fun little kind of mini pattern of little diamonds. And I couldn't find it. I'm not sure what I did with it. I may have stashed it away for another project. So today, on this one, what I used was one from the Royal Menagerie collection. It's also a 6x6 stencil, and the number is 582975. And on the back, you can see the pattern. So we had two stencils with this collection, and this is the one that I used right here. I don't know if I can, there you go. It's got little circles and little diamond shapes. It did focus in for a second there. There we go. So this is kind of an interesting one to use, and I actually really, I pulled it out and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So what I did is I laid the stencil down. It doesn't really cover the whole thing, but that's okay. So I did like maybe this section here. I did one corner, and then I dried it, and then I went down and added another little section down here of the pattern I wanted. So I kind of like the freedom to kind of move it around and see where I want that pattern to lay. And on this one in particular, like I have the pattern up here and down here in the corners. So you can go corner to corner, you can do the whole background. It's totally up to you, whatever kind of look you want to go for. But this was really fun, and now you're going to see it come to life with some of the watercolors. So I'm going to just take this and put this aside for now. And I've got my panel. So again, these are very, very lightweight. There's holes in the back so that you can hang it on a nail. And you want to make sure that your hole is where you want it to be. If not, I don't think it'd be the end of the world, but I'm just saying. Hold on, let me grab a piece of paper towel here. I like to have something to kind of clean my brushes on and dab off on and stuff as I work. So what I've got today are two different watercolor sets. I've got the Decadent Pies, and the number is 584276. And I'm also working with the Tropical set, and that is 584269. I wrote it right on my tin. Because in the original project, I have a teal color, and the teal I kind of made on my own. So, and that and the light green are the two that I kind of started playing with. I'm also grabbing my Prima water brush, which is one of my favorite tools. I'm going to get some, ooh, that one was dirty. Oh, see, you never know. I'm not very good at cleaning my brushes sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to get a little water there. And out of the Tropicals tin, there's this really pretty kind of ocean blue color. I don't know if you can see that. It's really, really nice. And then I'm going to go in and grab some green. So I'm going to mix the green and the blue together, to make my own teal. So that's what I love about these sets, is that you are not limited to the colors that come in the sets. You can make your own. Okay, so I'm going to grab just a little more paint, get it more concentrated, and add just a little more water. So that will be my starting color, is that nice teal. I'm just going to give this kind of a light mist just to prime it and get it ready. I don't really need to get it saturated because I can squeeze water right out of my brush as I go. So I can just kind of start getting this kind of moving around. Okay, and I can pick areas. And now you're starting to see, oh, maybe not because I'm off camera, but now you're starting to see some of those patterns kind of come to life that I've put on there already with the stenciling. So I'm just going to kind of brush that around. I always like to go from lighter color to darker color. I think it's just easier to work with that way. And what I typically like to do, I think you guys know this by now, is I like to kind of dry it a little bit. Just a little bit in between colors. At least on the outside edges where I want it to kind of stay lighter. And I'll be honest with you, I don't expect this to look exactly the same as the last one that I made because they always come out a little bit different. Oh, I just mixed some green in with my teal. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the green out of the Decadent Pie set. This is kind of a really pretty celery, fun green. And I just want to disperse this and kind of blend it in with that blue. And I don't mind that they run together just a little bit. Okay, and there's plenty to go around. It's okay for a little bit of mixing. And you kind of want the water to do a little bit of the work for you. So you can tilt it, kind of let it run together, you know, let that water just move it around. And that's where you're going to get more of like your natural watercolor like look. Okay. Now I can go direct to color and kind of plop down some of that intense color without going back and mixing any more water. And that's just really gonna kind of pop. Now don't be too scared about this because it does dry much lighter. And I've got some water on here, and if it's not quite enough, I can just squeeze my brush and work that around. See, that's what I love about this, is like letting it just kind of run together and just kind of seeing where it goes. So that's kind of a fun, intense look. I'm not too worried about the center because remember, that's where we have a lot of our embellishments, right? So just kind of play with this and see how you like the colors. So I'm really liking the teal and the green, and in some areas, you know, I may want to blend it a little bit more into the teal. That's totally fine. Now, if you get a spot where you totally hate it, you know, you can grab some paper towel and you can dab that up. And for the most part, most of it disappears, right? Just like that. So the color will stay on there, but it won't be as like, oh, you know, if there's a spot that you absolutely just hate. Okay, now I'm going to grab another clean brush. I hope it's clean. And I'm going to go for that real dark, dark midnight blue. So I'm going to just start kind of working that in. And this is where I want to start to kind of meet with the other two colors that I've got, right? And I can work it over. It is going to start to kind of blend into some of the other colors. So around the edges, it'll change just a little bit. And I'm going real intense here in some areas. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Yes. Well, I think it does. So I like doing that. It just adds lots of a pop of color, adds a lot of interest, and I can kind of go over here and get this white space kind of taken care of and mix it in a little bit, and then kind of come up here in this corner and just add a little bit of that dark blue. Okay, so now I can always go back, pick up my teal, and kind of make that teal more vibrant in certain areas where I may have, you know, maybe covered it up just a little too much. And I just want it to kind of like right here and right here. And the colors are starting to blend. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that if they get a little bit muddier. okay? Because I'm using, the key is you know, you don't, this is not, you don't have to do it this way, but the key is to try, if you're going to blend a lot and you're going to work a lot of the colors together in a smooth motion, I try to stay with all cool colors, like in the blue family and the purples and the green. Now, I could also do that in the reds. So I could do that with, you know, pink and orange and red and yellow. Um, but if you start mixing those together on one project, and if you're doing a lot of mixing, you may want to dry in between the the color applications, because cool and warm tones tend to muddy up when you get them together. Okay, so it's just all kind of how it works. Let's see, maybe I could add just a little more blue down here. But I really love the way this came out, and look how easy, and it looks abstract. It looks artsy, I mean. And, you know, again, I'm not too worried because the colors just kind of seem to go really well together. Okay, so now I can let this kind of go on its own, maybe dry. I can dry it with my heat gun. I may just let it rest for a minute and let it kind of soak in on its own. I am going to tell you, when you get these watercolor panels and you start adding a lot of water and a lot of fluid to it, it's going to start to buckle upward a little bit. Don't panic. When it dries, it goes completely flat again. So there's no need to panic or worry about that, okay? All right. Here, I think we need to go back with our vibrant blue over here. See, and it will start to soak into one another. It is going to start to kind of look, you know, maybe in some areas a little too muddy. Just pick it up with your paper towel and just work that color around. That's it, really. How easy is that? Now, like I said, no two are ever going to be alike. Like, I can tell you right now, it's a lot different from the first one I did. But see how light this dried? You know, and I went in pretty intense with some of that color, but it just dries lighter. So it's not going to be quite as vibrant as what you see here. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to set this aside. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to move the, okay, I'm just going to grab this over here. Okay. So moving on, the next cool thing I wanted to do, and, you know, I will tell you that, you know, the team of library Prima instructors always have amazing ideas. Okay, so I picked up on an idea that Robbie did on her, I don't know, did you guys see her charger class? She made this beautiful teal colored charger and she decorated it. And what she did is she put some of the adhesive rub-ons on acetate or a transparency so that she could have them be see-through and kind of put them where she wanted. And I thought that's such a great idea. And I want to do that with words, which is exactly what I did on the front of this one. So the original one I used is this set right here. And you can see I cut right through the whole entire packaging because I don't have time to like pull it out of the packaging, put it back in, blah, blah, blah. So I just, you know, cut it right out. I cut it right out. So I took Sparkle out of this set, and this set is 971342. And you can see there's all kinds of other fun words like I love you and be yourself and everything like that, and thank you. So imagine using these for a card, right? Perfect. And then I came across another set that we have, and this one, the words are just a little bit bigger. It says brave and live it up and adored life, all that stuff. And I thought this would be another good one. This is 971465. Hi, Mako. Some of my friends I see are popping up on the chat. Hello. So what I did is I took packaging. Like, so here's a box of flowers that I used on this particular project, and it comes in this really cool, like, clear box. Now, some people save these and use them for storage and all that stuff. And, you know, I have plenty, so I don't really need to do that. But I cut apart this box, and it's not perfect. It is a little scratched up. It's got some marks on it. But you know what? When I put the word on and I cut it out, you can't see a darn thing. Okay, so that's what I did. I cut a piece of the packaging, and let's see. I think I'm gonna do the word, I think I'll do life. How's that sound? Okay, so I'm just going to cut it right out. So I know you guys have seen us use these over and over again, and you know, I know for the sake of this show, you know, I used a couple different sets, or I'm showing you a couple different examples, but honestly, I think when you get your hands on something like this, you're going to want as many to play with as possible and kind of have a variety because these are so fun. I know Sharon also shared, oh, that's why I can't cut through because there's one of those popsicle sticks in there. I was like, why is this being so difficult? But Sharon did a really pretty watercolor panel with the image of a bird on it for National Scrapbook Day. So if you guys get a chance to go back, if you missed that show and you want to go back and watch it, she did an amazing job. She explains things so well. Okay, so I'm going to take life. And I hope I gave myself a big enough piece. I may not have. Oh, here's another piece. Oh, shucks. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this, I did not. That's okay. I'm going to cut up this packaging really quick so that I have room for my word. And my flowers just went flying all over. Okay. I'm going to make sure I give myself a big enough piece for that bigger word. Life lesson. Okay, now I have a big enough piece. And I'm just going to grab that and I'm going to put the sticky side down onto the transparency or the piece of packaging. Okay, and now I'm going to use my distress tool. And like I know some of you guys have this, some of you may not. But on the tip of the handle, there's two beveled edges. You see that one is a little bit deeper than the other. And this was actually designed for rub-ons. So if you didn't want to use the little popsicle stick, you don't have to. This actually works amazing. So I'm just using that beveled edge just to kind of make sure that I stick that down. And make sure I get the eye. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to peel apart the two clear pieces, and it came off like perfectly. I know it's really difficult to see. I apologize. And I grabbed a glitter from Finn's art ingredient set. It's her blue glitter set. It's called Caribbean Sea, I think, or something like that. So what I did is I'm just gonna, it's got like a nice little salt shaker top too, so this is actually really perfect for a project like this. I'm gonna have glitter everywhere. And I'm just I'm being somewhat generous. Okay, but here's my trick. So let's say I go back with that piece that I cut out, you know, because I cut right through the packaging. I'm gonna lay it right over the glittered area. And I'm not going to be too vigorous or crazy, but I'm going to grab a brayer. You can do this with anything, even your hands, but I like to grab my brayer and just kind of really press down and get that glitter into that adhesive on that rub-on. Okay, there we go. There, good enough. And then you can just tap it off. I'm going to tap it off into my box over here. And there's the word life. Let's see if I can something behind it. So that's kind of a glittery mess. No big deal. I have a little, I have all kinds of tools because I've been, you know, working with glitter and stuff like this forever. I have a really sad looking brush called the Sparkle Sweeper. My dog thought it was like the tastiest thing in town at one time. So you just want to kind of take a light brush. You can even do this with a very soft paintbrush and just kind of work the excess glitter off. And this brush is great for getting it off of your surface too. It's made by Judykins. I don't even know if they still make it anymore, but this, when someone showed me how this worked, I was like, oh, I need it. So yeah, it works really great. So you can see now the word life. And what I did is I just took my scissors, and as you guys know, I always lose stuff. Here we go. and I just cut around this area. So I know Robbie did the same thing. She did the same thing with a butterfly adhesive rub-on, and it came out so beautiful. And she used our foil sheets with it with copper, I believe. I don't know. It was just a really gorgeous idea. This is so fun to make, you know, your own titles, your own words, because if it's a rub-on and you put it down and you're not really sure that's where you want it to end up, this is a great alternative so that you can kind of move your title around, see where it's going to look good, and then you can just hide the glue behind the glittered areas. So, and this will work for not just, you know, layouts and cards and stuff. It's also lightweight. It's not going to weigh anything down. So you could use this in your planners. I don't know if, is there a lot of people here that do planners? I know that's a really trendy thing to do. People love decorating their planners and putting all kinds of fun stuff in there. But this would be super cute for a planner. So there we go. It says life. Pretty nice. And I actually did one ahead of time. There was another one that said bloom. Can you see that? So I think I might use the bloom one, but I wanted to just demonstrate how I did it. And how much I love these. And I can't even tell you, like, I had to show you because I don't even think you'd believe me unless I told you how easy it stuck to that acetate. Like, it was awesome. I'm just gonna pick up my flowers real quick because they went flying when I took the the acetate cover off of them. Okay, and I'm gonna grab my, you can see it's already starting to lighten up already right before our eyes. So I'm just gonna dry this so we can start working on it. Sorry for the noise, but this is a necessary step so that we can keep going. And you can see just how soft and beautiful, you know, some of these areas are. And this is just going to continue to get lighter and lighter as we dry it. And I personally love just adding color and not having to color within lines, but you certainly can. But for something like this, it just makes it so enjoyable and so pretty. Oh yeah, it's super wet, but it's calming down now. It was really, really wet. And actually, before I get too ahead of myself for the drying phase, I'm going to go back and grab a little bit more of that blue and get that on my brush really good. And I'm just going to lightly tap that brush and add some spatters. And again, you know, don't be afraid of this because that will dry lighter too. But I love the spatter look, so I'm going to dry that now. Do you guys have any questions? Don't be afraid of splatters. Mine don't quite turn out either, but you know, I just go with it, and it ends up being fine when all is said and done. You definitely don't want to do the splatter effect anywhere near like an image that has like a face or um, something like that that's hard to work out a spot in the middle of a face, like the Julie Nutting Dolls or the Color Bloom Girls. Not Color Bloom, the Bloom Girls by Jamie. Spots in their face don't look good, you know, so you can be very careful. All right, pretty happy with that. I think it's dry enough, and it lightened right up. So pretty similar. Not bad. All right, so next. I'm just gonna move my paints off to the side. I did prepare some of my leaves, because in this box of flowers, which I tore off the package from, these are actually really pretty. They've got a little bit of gold foil on the tips of their petals. Do you see that? And you get a nice little variety of roses in different sizes, and some of the petals might be a little, you know, more fluffy than the others, but I love this package. And of course, in this package, you get the leaves, and the leaves have a little touch of gold on the tips as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here we go. You see that? So all I did to color my leaves, they started out like this, they ended up like this, is I just took some of the green from the Decadent Pies watercolor confection set and colored them beforehand. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just start arranging my white flowers first. Okay. And of course I have to refer to my chart, because I don't even remember what I used, because they all kind of look similar in this pack. So, you know, it doesn't really matter which ones you pull out and which ones you decide to use. Okay, so I think I kind of went a little bit like that. And then I have like a little guy up here. And then another little guy like right about there. So that's how I arranged it. I got sort of a large one, two medium, and two sort of small. They're not the smallest, but that's the smallest, but close to it. All right, and I'm just going to go ahead and commit and glue these down. You guys know I love my white flowers, but when they came out with white flowers with gold edging, I just about died. I was so excited. Okay. And they come in copper, and they come in plain white too. Copper are really gorgeous. I've used the copper on some projects. They look so well. They almost, actually, I'd say instead of a copper color, I'm kind of saying it wrong. They're actually more of a rose gold. Like it looks like copper, but it's more of a rose gold. Okay. Okay, pretty happy with that. I think that looks good. All right, I'm gonna set these aside now, because I know I will get them dirty with something. Okay, next I have, this is how I get my flowers, by the way, sometimes, in these clear plastic pretty bags. This is how I get them sometimes, not in the pretty packaging like you guys get. So do not think this is how they come. They do not come like this. So the number on these is 586225. This is a flower set from the French Riviera collection. I think it's pronounced Ville. It's spelled Vielle, and the second word is Ville. So you get quite the combination of flowers in the set. You get leaves, you get bigger flowers that you can just fluff up right to life. And I used a couple of these pretty guys here in the package to add just to the background. So I'm going to do that right now. They just offered a little extra kiss of the teal color that you know, I think it looks real sweet. So I'm going to tuck that in right there. Yes, I'm arranging flowers for all of you, but Mako too. Oh, the gold tip flowers. Did Robbie give it to you? Oh, good. It's 586225. Yep. And they're called box of flowers. And like I said, they're all kind of, there's some craft colored flowers. There's, you know, different ones to choose from. But that was the gold tip one. Okay, so we've got that going. So I just wanted to tuck those two little teal flowers in right there. Now, I also love these little guys. These are perfect for filling. And these also come in that set. This French Riviera set's really fabulous value-wise, because you get such a nice variety. And this is how you can build your clusters. So I'm using about 3 of these on this. So you'll have more left over if you want to do 2 of these. Everything that I'm showing you here today, you'll definitely have room for more. And, you know, what sweeter gift would these be for a little girl's room or, you know, an anniversary gift or a wedding or something. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little guy up here. And another one kind of close by, like they're neighbors. They're kind of neighbors. And then I got another little one that I'm going to add just down here, just a little bit right here. Okay, so let me hold it up for you to see where what I've done so far. So you can see where I put those little guys. I put the 2 teal flowers, and then I started out with my white ones. It looks pretty good so far. Well, it's looking like the original one so far is what I mean to say. You know, you always try your best to try to make it look like what you originally did. Okay, so I think at this point, I've got these little berries that they come on the little stem here in that flower pack, and I like to cut them off and tuck them in. But I think at this point I'm going to put my leaves on because I like to put the berries kind of over the leaves where I put them down. So that's fine. Okay, so just here and there. My glue. It's misbehaving. Okay, so you're seeing how this comes together so quickly. This would be a fun, you know, a fun project to do with the kids too, honestly. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you just like your own downtime when you're crafting and making your stuff pretty. But seriously, this is a really fun gift for the kids to work on too. You know, with the watercolor background and all, I'm sure that they would rock it. Kids are really, really creative and good at these things. Brian used to do it. He used to do it with me when he was little, and he used to sit and make cards with me. And I just have to show him once how to, I think he made an alcohol ink card one time, and he did an amazing job. So they're quite capable of doing things that you just can't even believe, you know. Okay, I'm going to stick another little berry cluster, like kind of in between these 2 white flowers. I want it sitting up a little bit. Oh, I need one more. And just adding glue to these and just kind of tucking them in. That's really it. There's no rhyme or reason. But they just kind of add a fun little textured element to it, and that really makes your cluster like pop. I think so. Okay, I'm done with the French Riviera flowers for now. I didn't need to use the leaves or the big ones. Okay. Next on our list are the pebbles. So Melange. These are art pebbles. These are from the Finnebear collection, and the number is 963323. And there's 46 pebbles in this little container here. And this container is like fantastic to use later when these pebbles are all gone. I like to kind of dump them out and see what I have in there. But look at how tiny some of these are. They look like little drops of water. There's some that are even tinier. Yeah, like these here. These are really, really tiny. So you have quite the assortment of what you can use. I'm going to dump some of these back in, because I don't use the real big ones. So those I can put back immediately. Well, maybe that one I'll use. Okay, so now here's where I like to grab my soft gloss gel. And the soft gloss gel is 961435. It's just my go-to sealer, my go-to glue. I like it glossy because what I'm using is glossy. Makes sense. You can use matte if you're gluing something and you can't see through it. That's fine. But my rule of thumb is to always try to use the gloss with anything that's glossy, like glitter and these guys. And excuse me for reaching over. I'm going to grab one of my paintbrushes that I have yet to ruin, but, you know, give it time. And I just put a little bit of that soft gloss gel in the back of these babies. And I just kind of start dotting those all over. And it's actually nice because you guys can kind of see where I'm putting them because of the white. So that's a good thing. I'm going to put another one right here. When I put these on too, I try not to make them like where they're straight in a line. I try to kind of make them look like they're random, like a little random bubbles. Let's see. I'm gonna do another one. And Tiffany used these the other night, and she used them on her mixed media book cover, and it came out great. Beautiful. That was last week. That's Thursday night. Okay, maybe I'll add just another little one right here. So do you see I like to kind of sprinkle them around and make them look random. And they match the circles in the stencil really well. Like, that was such a good idea for me to grab the stencil. Like, I actually like the stencil a lot more than the original one I used because of the circles. Like, this is all kind of coming together. And once this stuff dries, it's going to be on there forever. And it's going to dry clear. So you can see it now, but you won't see it later. Sometimes it sticks in my finger. All right. Yeah, I'm addicted. And these you can put art mediums over, you know, cover them up, use whatever you like, gesso, sprays, or whatever. It'll work just fine. All right, so that's it for the pebbles. So I put on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 of them. You know, you can go crazy. You can add the little teeny tiny ones too. They're just so cute. All right. Excuse my arm again. Okay, next, I'm just going to add some pearls. Now, for the pearls, because they tend to roll away, I do like to use my Beacon Fabri-Tac for those. You can use the soft gloss gels, just that, you know, I'm going to be moving this around during the show, and I kind of want to get it done quickly. So, grab my pearls. So the pearls are 990398. And these are from the Memory Hardware collection. I think you've seen probably me use these on the show before. I like to pour them out a little so I don't have to dig through too bad. Let's see. There we go. Okay. My glue is volcanoing because I had it on its side. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue and just pop these down. I love this Beacon Fabri-Tac because it acts like a liquid glue gun. Like, it's hard to explain, but it just grabs right away. And then, you know, you can manipulate your project a little bit and they'll stay put. It usually tends to dry fairly quickly, I think. Okay, so I'm just dotting a couple of those around. And I'll add a couple more up here. Right around where I had my pebbles. And these match the gold on the flowers, so you know, and with the blues and stuff, you know, someone may have said, hey, you know, I think silver would look better, and it certainly would. I mean, I think silver would look great with the blues. So, you know, that's all just up to you. But then I would use just the plain white flowers for that. Let's see here. I don't like that. I'm going to move that. I'm going to scrape the glue off with my finger and put it more randomly there. There, that's a little better. Okay, so you see where I just kind of added, and they just sparkle and shine a little bit, and they work off of those gold tip flowers just ever so lightly. Sorry, put those away so they don't go rolling all over. Okay, and next, there's another product we came out with, which I'm not sure that a lot of you have seen because we haven't really had it out there all that much. But these are called washi tape sheets. So it's actually washi tape like in a sticker form for you. It's got the same feel and characteristics, but they're foiled. So these two have like a rose gold kind of foil look to them. It's kind of hard to show on camera, but you can kind of see it. And then within the pack, you get gold foils, like strips. So these are already done for you. And I just love the words. Aren't they cute? So you can use these for journaling. You can use these for your planners. And the number on this is 585327. So when you take the sticker off, I'm just going to try to show you. can. Oh no, I'm taking off the backing with it. So it's still got that washi tape. It's not totally transparent. It looks like it is, but it's got like that tissue tape look with that gold foil on it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. See that? So this one's like a little banner. It's got the little notches at the bottom. So that's already cut out for you, and you can just stick it right down any project. So I thought it would be kind of a cute idea to grab the border. Let's see, which one can I use? I like all of them. I think I'll use this one with like little random dots on it. There's like cute stripes. I think I used polka dots on the original one. So I'm going to peel that whole thing off. And I'm going to cut it about a third. Cut off about a third of it. And all I did, and I hope it sticks well. It's, you know, it's not really totally dry, but when it is totally dry, this works. So I thought it would just be fun to add these foiled stickers just to the sides, just to add a little bit of interest and a little accent. But these are really cute. And these should be in stores now, by the way. Oh, that one laid down a little funky. There we go. So just kind of bringing in a little bit more of that gold, and then I just go in and I really press it down, and it's stuck. You see that? Just kind of, you know, it does take on the color, but it is just slightly opaque. See that? And the original one, I think I went crazy and used like a mega polka dot one. I did. But it just kind of brought it together. It just added a little something on the side. So just, you know, something to think about adding. Just kind of fun. You know, bring that gold up to the sides. All right. And last but not least, we will add our word. So let's see. I have bloom or I have life. Which one do you guys think I should use? Life or bloom? I mean, it's kind of weird to have life by itself, but I don't know, maybe that works. So I'll wait to see what you guys say. I'm always a little ahead of what you guys hear me say. And this I can always use for something else, you know, and the first one I used sparkle. So I thought I'd make this one a little bit different rather than do sparkle again. Pam, you like bloom? Yeah, bloom's kind of cool, and it kind of goes along there. It's not too big. Oh, I'm seeing bloom. Maka wants blue. I don't have blue. I have bloom. Just pick it on you, girl. Okay, so this is another call for my soft gloss gel. Soft gloss gel will work on anything. I think the Fabri-Tac would work, but I think it might get a little goopy back there behind my word. So I'm going to add a little, and I can add it with my paintbrush. So I don't know if you guys can see. I know it's kind of shiny, but I'm actually adding the soft gloss gel just where the glitter is covering. So I'm not hopefully going to see it, you know, through the clear part. Okay, and I'm kind of being careful. It's hard to do when it's moving around like that. And you just hope and pray that it touches down somewhere on, on one of these flowers. And like I said, when it dries, it's going to be totally clear. Yeah, I like to kind of smush it in, make sure it is touching something. And there we go. There's bloom. Bloom is cute. This is going to take a little while to dry, so I can't really show this like upside down or sideways, but you guys get the drift. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, here we go. You really can't see the glue too much. And you can see the glitter, you know, and mica powder would be another really good one for this if you just wanted something not glittery and you just wanted to be sparkly but not sparkly like glitter. The mica powder would look great. So here, I'll show you the sparkle and how that looks. Now, an interesting thing happened to me on this one too. I'm gonna come clean. I put the soft gloss gel behind the letters, and this flower over here was not as tall as this flower over here. So I ended up sticking one of those pebbles, you know, one of these little clear pebbles behind underneath this part and gluing it to the flower and then gluing this to the pebble. And it worked out great. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see it. Can you guys kind of see it? Yeah. See that pebble under there? So just in case you're working along on this and you're like, oh, it's not laying completely flat, then that was my secret trick. See, you guys gotta let me make all the mistakes and then you guys can go and rock it later and you don't have to worry. Yeah, there we go. I just want to make sure this is on straight. So that's it, guys. Wow, I was done kind of fast. I thought that this would take a little bit longer than it did, but it didn't. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. I think these will look really sweet somewhere on someone's walls. You know, I always tend to go for the blue colors, but remember, you can easily do this and switch it up to like I would use a light pink, an orange, and maybe a red, or you know, you can do kind of like a coral or a yellow in there, you know, make it and then use like a warm glitter or powder or something on there, or even foil. You can even foil these guys and make it like whatever colors you want. I will. Maybe I will. Thank you, Janelle. On your wall. Yeah, bye. You guys are so funny. You're like, they look great in my house. That's what they're saying in the chat. They're all telling me how awesome it would look in their house. You guys are funny. But thank you for joining me today. And Thursday night we have Robbie coming on, and she's going to be doing a really cool project. She's actually going to be altering a tile, like an ordinary tile. She's taken it, flipped it over, and she's going to be decorating the back of it. And she's got some really great ideas, and just you know the normal Robbie touch that it always has that she has on her project. So make sure you tune in at 6:30 at that time. Also, Art Venture Phoenix 2017 is now open for registration. So any of our friends that would like to go to Art Venture this year in Phoenix, that's where CHA is going to be held. They moved it from Anaheim to Phoenix. Um, Go to our primamarketinginc.com website or just Google search Prima Marketing Inc. And on the website, you can click Art Venture, or you can go to livewithprima.com. Livewithprima.com is back up and running. It's working again, and that's where we're going to have a lot of our go-to stuff. Plus, we're going to start posting some exclusive kits on there as well, just to give you guys ideas on how to use some of our products. And we have step-by-steps and all kinds of fun stuff. So, you know, check it on that. And I'll post it in our Facebook group too. We have a Live with Prima Facebook group as well, and I'll post all that news there. Okay. Oh, you have a oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and I will probably see you on the flip side, you know, this Thursday. Okay. You're welcome. Take care.